All right, y'all, we are live on this beautiful Tuesday. Wait a second, it's a Monday. May God bless you all in the name of Jesus, Yeshua the Messiah. I do pray you and your family are super blessed in many ways, as Bitcoin has literally just hit a new all-time high. And you know what, guys? Here I am, Bitcoin at a new all-time high, and I myself am just, I don't know. You know, it doesn't do anything for me anymore. It doesn't do a dang thing for me, man. I was way more excited when Bitcoin hit $3,000 than I was now. When Bitcoin hit 30K for the first time, I was euphoric. Right now, man, I mean, look at all these all-time highs we've been hitting. All-time high, little pullback. All-time high, little pullback. All-time high, little pullback. Now, this is pretty important. As you can see, we're in a juicy long trade of about... I just hit a TP1 here, guys, to be honest with you. I just hit a take profit one at the all-time high, locking in a nice 10,000 US dollars. All right. Now, we got to give a major shout out to everybody in the chat. First of all, shout out to Tetsu. Shout out to best looking crypto guy ever. I thought y'all is not live. Shout out to Eric 10. He says, I went nuts when it went to 20K. Me and my wife danced like crazy. Yeah, me and my wife too. I remember that. I remember Saturday morning. It was a Shabbat. I was trying not to look at Bitcoin, trying to focus on God, right? But me and my wife dancing around the kitchen making breakfast, you know? Breakfast tastes so dang good when Bitcoin's at a new all-time high, man. You know what's funny? If Bitcoin ever comes back to 30K, I'll bet your breakfast will taste like crap. It'll taste disgusting. Those eggs will never taste worse than if Bitcoin's at 30K. But everything's relative. Everything's relative. The theory of general and specific relativity. Albert Einstein talked about this in his theory. The Bitcoin price is all relative. The way breakfast tastes is all relative. Major shout out to Steak Sauce. Shout out to Penrod. Shout out to Zenius. 200,000 Bitcoin. I did take a poll here. We need a pump song. Guys, I do also have to say... Well, here's the deal, man. What do I have to say? We're giving away good stuff. All right. If you join the Casper crew, free Discord or the VIP Discord, for this live stream, there is a code, a quest to get eggs today. So if anyone is looking for eggs, it is afternoon is the keyword, the secret code, right? If you're looking to get some eggs, if anybody doesn't know what the eggs are, quickly let me explain. In my Discord, my free and paid Discord, we have these little quests that you can do here, over here in the egg rewards section, where you can get eggs, and these eggs will be redeemable for cash prizes, for free VIP Discord memberships, and a whole bunch of other cool stuff. And so if you go to quests in my free Discord, right now, if you type in the word, click claim, and type in the word afternoon, and you can get some eggs. Look at that. Look at that. I just got 5 eggs because I'm VIP, baby. All right, so make sure to go do that. All right. And also, guys, I got to give a huge reminder to everybody to make sure to smash up the likes. As usual, if we get 1,000 likes in the first half hour, we'll be giving away 1,000 US dollars. Also, guys, make sure to sign up on WEEX to trade. Also, I'm trading on KCEX. KCEX, guys, lowest fees in the game, 0% limit order, 0.01% market order. Absolutely a great deal. And speaking of KCEX, as you can see, I'm short right here from the short that we were ready for this morning in the Casper Crew VIP Discord. The 3 trades I was interested in today during the VIP live stream. Of course, that CDW, you know, there it is. What can you do? Well, when you see it happen, you got to take it, right? Now, we're going to be looking at this. This is very key. This is very key level right here. I hope this isn't the top. I really hope it's not. I don't think it is. I've already locked in about $1,000 on this short trade here, guys. Well, I locked in about $1,000, a nice 4.6 to 1 risk reward on that little scalp trade. But as you can see, not only have I TP'd one on this long here, but we still got about 10,000 unrealized in the trade. So my next take profit on this is 140,000. I'm going to be talking about why. I'm going to be talking about my targets. I'm going to be looking at everything here, right? By the way, if you want to join the VIP, you can go to jasoncaspertrading.com. All right, click the link to join the VIP. So let's pop right into the Bitcoin price action here, y'all. All right, it's very important as we are coming up to a new high. Why is this so important? Well, guys, as we know, we have been looking at this price action for literally what feels like years. Okay, what feels like years, man. And we ourselves have seen the Bitcoin price break out of this massive year support resistance flip. All right, we're talking about around the level of $107,000-ish. Okay, now if you're in the Casper Crew VIP Discord, you know that I was long from this area, very publicly was long from this area, looking for a new all-time high. We got the first pump, we got a pullback, we made a higher low. Here we are at the all-time high. Now, what happens here is very, very important. And the reason why is because what we do not want to do right now, what we do not want to do is close a candle below $124.5 thousand. The reason is because if we close a candle below this level, this will be a fake out of the previous all-time high. That's not what we want to do. Now, when we look at our weekly market cipher B, we're going to do some top-down analysis. The question here is, are we bullish or are we bearish? Well, look, one thing is for certain. One thing is for certain. The end is for sure near of this bull run. I think we can say that with pretty dang sure certainty. The 4-year cycle, 500 days later, Q4 of the 4th year of the halving cycle, the end is probably near. And when we look at market cipher B, when we look at the whole bull run, the characteristics which we see every single bull run is bearish divergence, right? The money flow is getting lower, the momentum is getting lower over time. These bearish divergences can only happen for so long until eventually they do start to play out, and we do start to see a real retracement, right? A real retracement. But right now, what we really need to focus on, in my opinion, is the daily candle closing above this previous all-time high that we made here in August. If we can do that, that is a bullish sign. Also, if we can hold above that level, this local bearish divergence that we're printing right here will actually be invalidated. Okay, we'll still have bearish divergences from back here. In fact, it just doesn't look too healthy. But step number one to stay bullish here is definitely hold above this level. And if we do hold above this level, well, then we could see Bitcoin catapult like crazy into the stratosphere, into the ionosphere, the thermosphere, all right, which can melt anything, but somehow we can send up these aluminum foil satellites into the... I don't know how it works, guys. I'm not a scientist. We're going to blast right through the Van Allen radiation belts, go straight to the moon, right? We're going to skip around, dance around on the moon with our 250 million mile Wi-Fi or whatever the heck we got, 250,000 mile Wi-Fi. And look, I'm going to tell you about my next targets here. All right, let's go ahead and put on our next targets here. Because look, if we hold above this, I just want to give a little context here. If we're holding above this level, then what we've done is we've ranged, right? We've ranged, we've broken out, we've back tested, bull flagged, and now we're going to get another leg up. Okay, so we need to hold above that. And if we hold above that, yes, the bearish divs are here, but that doesn't mean we cannot get a big pump, big fast pump that happens really quick. So my next targets for the Bitcoin price action are going to be the Fibonacci extension targets from the bull run. And these were very, very accurate last bull run. But basically, if we take it from the low of the bear to the high of the bull to the low of the bear, we can see that our next major target here is going to be the $132,000 level. The 1.786 Fibonacci. All right. Now look at how these levels are respected here. Look at how they're respected here. In fact, look at the 1.272 right here. We get, on our first tap of it, we get a little bit of a move to the downside for 2 weeks. All right. 2 weeks of downside. All right. Look at this. When we hit into our 1.618 Fibonacci, guess what? That was the top for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 weeks. That was our top. So our next fib level is going to be right here at $132,291 US. Our target above that is going to be the 2-to-1 Fibonacci extension, front running 150,000. Now, both of these are very key levels. Number one, 130,000 is a key psychological level. Let's be honest. Why is 130,000 key psychological? Well, it's because it's more than 120,000. I know that sounds dumb, but it's true because it's higher than 120K, and 120K is that Bitcoin price that everybody was expecting and hoping for and looking for this bull run, 130 is just to the next level. So it's a psychological resistance, right? And then the next resistance that we have, just front running 150, that's also super key. Why? Because if we're breaking above, let's say we do come above 130K. Once we're above 130K, everybody and their grandma is going to be saying, we're going to 150. 150 is next. Everybody's going to be waiting for 150, right? So in true market maker fashion, let's say we do something like this, right? We just won't get to 150. We'll get close, right? 2 to 1 Fibonacci extension. These levels tend to be very well respected, all right? So I want to take a look at our 7-day market cipher B. 7-day market cipher B in 1 day. Now remember, this is not the week. This is the 7-day. And people are like, Jay, why do you use the 7-day and not the week? It does give better signals, all right? I know I'm crazy. I use the 12-minute, the 24-minute, the 6-minute, the 3-minute, the 5-second, okay? The 7-day market cipher B in 1 day and 7 hours will confirm a green dot here. And in my opinion, this green dot does have the potential to really give us a lot more juice to the upside, man. Look at how the money flow is getting thick here on market cipher B. That is juicy. Look at how the momentum wave itself has a plenty of room to the upside here. That is very juicy. All right, that looks nice. That looks like we could get a much larger push to the upside. That could happen very, very quickly. And the reason why I say it could happen quickly is because, as we know, when Bitcoin gets going, she gets going. Let's take a look at the last time we broke out of this range, back over here. In fact, let's clear off this chart. Every range that we've broken out of so far in this bull run, except this one, right? This was an exception here where we get a breakout and then we range for a while, form kind of like a bull flag. But other than that, every other range we break out of, it happens quick. Look at this. We break out the range and it's just 3 or 4 weeks of straight up. We break out the range. It's literally, we got like 6 weeks of straight up. All right. We broke out of this range back in the fall of 2023, just straight up for a number of weeks. All right. And this one happened in October 23. All right. We got the breakout of the range. It happened right over here. And then look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks of straight up. All right. This would line up very, very nicely with the hypothesis that, yeah, we're going to get a blow off top in the next few months for all crypto. And of course, Bitcoin leading the way, and then we will also see that the altcoins will follow. And yes, we are now talking like a German, like Arnold in the gym, even though he's not German, he's Austrian. But us Americans, we can't tell the difference. But all we care about is the pump. We want the Bitcoin, the bicep pump, the Bitcoin pump, the armpit, sweat stains, and the purple V-neck. If you know what I mean. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we're looking at right now, honestly. So boring of a bull run. Well, yeah. You ain't wrong, man. What can I say? So I've got a TP up here at 140K because this front runs the 2 to 1 extension, but it also it's right in the middle basically. I'm shooting for that next TP up here, looking to lock in about another $10,000 on that trade. Let's see, Bitcoin's starting to get a move back up. I would assume, guys, that we're going to take the high again because we have not even changed the market structure at all here. We are still just going along this, which is why, I said this morning, if you're scalping, you got to be scalping, all right? Locked in a nice little $1,000 profit on that. My stop loss will stop me out at about, $200 loss. So I'm guaranteed about $1,000 on the short trade, all right? Shorted the exact top of Bitcoin, all right? Made some money on that, a little bit. It won't be the exact top for long, but for right now, I can say I'm short from the top, baby. I am short from the top. And guys, if you are not trading on KCEX, you're missing out. Link in the pinned comment. Lowest deal on fees. Look at this. Look at my trading fee on this. Oh, it doesn't say my fee anymore. That's weird. They like change stuff on this. All right. But 0.01%. You can mark it in. All right. I had over a $500,000 position on this thing, right? And I'm paying like very low fees. It's crazy. You can market in and market out and make money. In fact, I did. I marketed in, I marketed out, and I made money. Right? Isn't that crazy? Also, guys, WEEX, super low fees for sure. And BLOFIN is the other exchange that I'm trading on. All right. You want to join the Casper crew where every single day we give our trade plans, like the short trade that I'm in right now. You can go to jasonscaspertrading.com. Okay. Let's check out some other assets. But first, I'm going to set an alert here on Bitcoin for when we take the high again, because in my opinion, we're going to take this high again. I don't think the high is in right now. We're at least going to make another high here. It's not going to be that easy. It's not going to be that easy. It's not going to be that easy, man. All right. Man, we went from German, now we're British. Let's take a look at Ethereum. Ethereum. We gotta say, we don't TH across the pond. We say like a, no. Do they say TH like an F, or is that only in South Africa? Ethereum. All right, brother. Hey, brother. Take a look at Ethereum. All right, let's take a look at Ethereum here. All right. Man, wow. Wow. Yeah, so, again, same deal. I'd say that ETH is setting us up right now for another big push to 5,500. Easy. Potentially a push to... My targets are 5.5K, 6.5K, and 8.5K, the next Fibonacci extensions. As can be seen right here. Okay. This is absolutely beautiful action for ETH. And the fact that Bitcoin is making new all-time highs is bullish for ETH. Why? Well, look at the weekly time frame, look at the weekly money flow, look at the 2-month time frame, look at how the momentum wave has plenty of upside on the 2-month. Look at the monthly, look at how we still have plenty of room to the upside after printing this juicy bottomed out wave in the middle of a bull market. We saw ETH come down to bear market prices, give us super bottomed out monthly momentum on market Cypher B. Look at how we broke out of the very, very key resistance of $4,000, very key multi-year resistance, and look at how we came back to backtest it perfectly right here. We're backtesting it perfectly. Look at the 4-day time frame on ETH right now. Okay, some high time frame analysis. This is extremely bullish. This is so bullish. Hang on. I'm getting hyperventilation from this bullishness. Just relax, Jason. Don't make them put you back in the institution, man. Come on. Keep it together here on the internet. You know what happens to crypto YouTubers who go crazy on the internet. Anyway, as I was saying here, look at the 4-day on ETH. All right, what do we have down here? What do we have? Oh my goodness! Look at this. Look at this. Not this. This. We got ourselves a juicy left cheek, a skinny right cheek right here. Okay, we got 2 big Ben Armstrong green dots. Now we're seeing the money flow crossing. And at the same time, we're printing a green dot on the 4-day. Do you guys know how powerful that is, man? That is so powerful. Oh my goodness. Look at what happened. Okay, so Bitcoin did this. Bitcoin did this a while ago, man. I remember Bitcoin. When was the last time we saw Bitcoin do this? It was crazy. It was recent. Am I mistaken? I must be mistaken, because Bitcoin didn't do this recently. It was some other asset that we saw do this, and it's super bullish. This is going to take us up, man. I just can't see it any other way. I mean, anything's possible in trading, for sure. Anything's possible, but this signal right here is very rare. It's very bullish. And this is just a beautiful bull flag right here. This big run up. Such a technical move. Everything about this is so technical. We came down to the value area low of the bear market range. We break up into the value area low of the bull market range, get a perfect back test, a big breakout. Look at this. We're literally forming the same pattern on the chart. All right. Big pump, forming this kind of bull flag with a little bit of a capitulation before the big break. Boom. We're forming this bull flag, a little bit of capitulation before the big break. Let's just take our measured move here. You know, we'll do a little basic TA here. All right, I'm going to take this bull flag, and let's see where our target is. It's going to be right around our 1.272. That's going to be like a $6,500 ETH, man. That's just based on this move here. All right, we could take other moves, other measurements, and hit our $8,500 level as well. Looking pretty nice on ETH. And, you know, I'm bullish. I have to be. Man, that 4-day. Man, that weekly. Let's check out the 7-day on ETH. 7-day looking juicy as well. The 4-day looks so good. The 2-day, look at the 2-day right now. Hidden bullish divergences into this back test here. Hidden bullish divergences right here. Let's check out our daily. Daily also with the hidden bullish divergence right here. It looks nice. It looks like a nice continuation pattern. And we had really bullish divergences down here. Now we're seeing hidden bullish divergence as we get the breakout and the back test of this support resistance flippity flop. Flippity floop flop, flippity hey. Flippity floop flop, flippity hey. If you're not bullish, then you know that you're gay. Oh man, that was so immature. Sorry guys. Something I would have said to my brother like back when we were like really young, like 30. But now I'm a 35-year-old mature man. Super mature. I'm so mature that I don't say mature, I say mature. Because true mature people say mature. Right? Now, shout out to Dave Digital in the chat. Shout out to the Dusty Hunt. God bless you guys. Thank you to everybody who's here. We got 1,000 people in the house. I haven't done an afternoon stream in a while. I'm going to try and do them again, okay? Yeah, let's smash up the likes, man. What are my top 5 indicators to use when leverage trading? Market Cipher B, Market Cipher B, and Market Cipher B. You know what I'm saying? That's my top favorite indicator. Do I think it dipped down to 109? Maybe even 102 is in the cards? Do I think it could dip down to 109, 102? Well, okay, look, I'm bullish, obviously. I just gave all these bullish scenarios here. But I did say this. We need to close the daily candle to stay bullish on Bitcoin. We cannot be closing our daily candle below this here, okay? We cannot be, hang on. We cannot be closing our daily candle here. So let's assume that we start closing below 124.5, okay? Then do we have reason to expect a big move to the downside? Well, look, I try and be as unbiased as possible. The answer is yes. Why is the answer yes? Because if we get a failed breakout of this range and we come back inside the range, well, then we're back inside the range, guys. We need to be looking back towards the bottom of the range, and that is going to be around 107. And honestly, like I was saying when we were down at the 107 area and I was building this long position, I was saying I'm open for a move down to around 105. Okay, so this is the old range that we would be back in here. All right, you can see resistance, 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 consolidation, support, boom, right? So yeah, the truth is we start closing candles below here, then we're back inside the sideways range. Same as it was back up here at 123. We close the candle below here, that opens us up for more downside, okay? So look, again, right now, as long as we're holding above that level, I think we have a really bullish looking scenario here. But as soon as we lose that level, then we need to be aware that if we now are holding below the level and we're starting to confirm these extremely bearish divergences on, let's say, the daily time frame, well, yeah, that is not going to look good. It's going to look just like how it looked back here in August when we ended up with a pullback of about, 14, 15%, okay? So again, we take it level to level. So right now, so long as we're holding above 124.5, there's juice on these higher time frames for higher prices, okay? The 4-hour money flow is very, very thick. The 4-hour money flow to me looks extremely bullish. The 4-hour money flow is higher than it was at any time in this range. So that is very nice looking on the 4-hour. The 1 hour, it's So it really depends, guys. It really just, it depends. It depends on what happens at this level. So I'm hoping for higher prices. I want to see Bitcoin hit my $140,000 take profit, okay? And this guy's so confident. Why is he so confident? Long-lasting dryness. He knows he won't be liquidated. Why? Well, because instead of just getting emotional and trading based on emotion, he trades level to level. He understands that, you know, if we hold above this level, then he can stay bullish. But if we close below this level, then he can look for short trades, right? He's relaxed, he's unbiased, and he knows he's not going to get liquidated, all right? Maximum absorbency, absorbs all those liquidations, and then reverses the price. Boom, baby. The market makers, you know how they go. All right, let's see if we hold here. We just took a little bit of liquidity. We had this liquidity down here. You could see we just snagged it. Maybe this is the CDW back to the top, baby. I don't think the top is in, to be honest with you. There's a very small chance, very small probability that this is the top. There's a chance, you know, but there's a very small probability right now that the top is in here. Okay, I'd say there's a much higher probability that we continue up here. All right, much higher probability that we continue up towards our next $130,000 Fibonacci extension level. All right, let's take a look at some other assets here. Let's take a look at Sol. You know, these altcoins are just gearing up. They are just gearing up. Now, Bitcoin is doing everything we want to see Bitcoin to do for these altcoins to gear up. All right, Solana, look, it's taking some time here. You know, our 1-to-1 at $380, and then our 1.272 at $450. Moonshot 1.618, $550. Solana, that is about 100% move, right? Yeah, it's about 130% move to that moonshot. Now, just objectively speaking here with Sol, let's put it on log scale, right? Let's go down to the daily. I like what we see here because we have this sideways range, right? We had this support resistance box here, this box of support resistance. We dipped below, stopped everybody out, came above, got the back test. Probabilities are highest, we go for the highs again. Which means if we're going for the highs, we're going to hit our next fib extension, which can be a $375 Solana. That's going to be pretty cool. I don't think that's a crazy target at all. Considering that Bitcoin is continuing in the bullish market structure, yeah, I'd say it's a real possibility, a real possibility. How about AVAX? Let's take a look at AVAX. Yeah, AVAX. I love AVAX. I love AVAX. I love it. I do hold quite a bit of AVAX. AVAX. I call it AVAX. We got it on the chart here. Where's AVAX? Aha. AVAX. Just the daily time frame. I mean, I still have to say everything I've been saying about AVAX, which is this. This is so dang bullish looking, man. And honestly, we're a little late to the party. Like, we're late to the party on ETH, we're late to the party on Sol. I mean, here's the deal with AVAX, right? We had extremely bullish divergences at the low. We break out, we backtest the POC, the Fibonacci pocket, right? It's pulled from high, low to high. The 786, 886, this is the altcoin pocket, right? The golden pocket doesn't really work for altcoins. It's the 786 and the 886. So we break out, we backtest perfectly this pocket. Now we're getting a bounce, and we're trying to reclaim value area high. Once we reclaim value area high, I mean, in my opinion, look, we have bullish divergence right here. We have trigger wave right here. It looks really, really nice. Once we can hold above 31 bucks, I think it pretty much is going to be a moonshot. Not financial advice, but we've got ourselves this channel here that we will be breaking out of, depending on how you want to pull it. You can pull it in a few different ways. All right, this trend line technically even goes back all the way to here, right? And then the all-time high is just, once we're above, it's going to look really nice. So from where we're at right now, let's say we get to all-time highs on AVAX. I mean, this is crazy, guys. It's actually still a good buy in my opinion, because look at this. I mean, when we take it off log scale, you can really see the risk to reward is excellent. We put it on log scale, it doesn't look as good, but look at this. Even if we put our low below the low, right? It's still 5 times more upside than downside here, right? 5 times more upside than downside even with the stop loss below the low. I mean, to me, AVAX is just objectively a good buy, even now. Of course, it was a much better buy back in this area when we were screaming at the top of our lungs it was an amazing buy. In which case, you know, yeah, but even now, I'd say it's a good buy. 5 times more upside than downside. We got bullish divs out the wazoo. Now, this ain't no financial advice. I'm not buying AVAX here. I've already bought all the AVAX I want to buy. I'm only looking to sell AVAX. That's my own personal view here of it. But look at the monthly. Plenty of upside. Look at the 2 monthly. We don't have enough data here on Bybit. Let's go to Binance. Hang on. We don't want perpetual. Yeah, let's go to Binance here. 2 month green dot printing, man. 2 month green dot of printing. Now, when we go to Binance, look at this. This is the 2 month time frame. But you guys see this? This is a giant symmetrical triangle. Giant symmetrical triangle on AVAX going all the way back to 2021. So when we break this trend line, guys, when we break this trend line, we are, I think we could get a big move back to that all-time high. Good old AVAX, man. Good old AVAX. Shout out to Franz Dip. Hello, SPX 6900 is up 75% on the week. Can you take a look? Yeah, sure. Shout out to Tony Punch Aether Media. Hey, what do you say, Jay? Cuban cousin. Yeah, I am Cuban, guys. Super Cuban. Super Cuban. Alright. Alright, let's check out SPX 6900 for our super chat. It's really only on BLOFIN? This was an idea that we had here on a back test. Was it on a back test or was it on a reclaim? I don't know. It's been so long since we dealt with this. Let's remove all this. Let's start fresh. Let's start afresh. Well, I do have to say this is a very bullish engulfing candle on the weekly here. A very bullish engulfing candle on the weekly. The one thing that really sticks out to me is the fact how we took this low. Liquidity grab, stop hunt. And so now I'd say probabilities are highest we go for the high. Probabilities are highest that we go for the high now after taking that low. So let's go down to our daily time frame and let's pull the volume. Take a look at this range here. So we are above POC, below value area high. Let's go ahead and pull our Fibonacci from the low to the high. Go ahead and put on our GP, our golden bucket. Let's check out this from the high. Okay, all right. Yeah, so honestly, like if here's the deal. If we're looking for an amazing opportunity right now, it's going to be value area low of this range, right? The support resistance flip, the POC, the 786, the value area low, the altcoin pocket, the 786 to 886. That's coming in right now between $1 and $1.13. That would be really our next awesome buy opportunity. You might say, Jay, what if we don't get that? Well, then we don't get that. But if we're looking for good opportunities, look, it's support. It's support. It's lost. It's reclaimed. This is a back test into key support. That would give us our really nice looking introverted head and shoulders pattern. Right? Introverted head and shoulders pattern. A very introverted. No friends in high school, had to eat lunch by themselves in the bathroom stall because if they set foot in the cafeteria, they would be laughed at and scorned and bullied. All right? But meanwhile, that poor soul eating lunch in the bathroom stall by themselves, their nickname was Shoes because people would go in the bathroom and see the same shoes in there every day. They'd say, "What's up, shoes? You loser. You stupid introvert. No one's ever gonna like you," right? Meanwhile, after school, he'd walk himself to his local McDonald's and work his little day job. Everything he made, he put into Nvidia stock and Palantir stock back in 2007. And now he's broken out, and all the hot girls now are very interested. All right? High school reunion comes along. He goes there. Everyone's like, "Hey, we loved you back in high school. You know, we thought you were cool." You know, all those hot girls. Of course, now they're all morbidly obese. Disgusting. But yeah, you should have told me you weren't into me back in high school. You know, you should come into that bathroom stall and start hitting on my shoes, baby. But yeah, it's looking pretty good. That would be a really nice level. Let's see what else we got here. I mean, let's go down to the 4 hour. Yeah, I mean, really, let's be real. That's the best buy opportunity. Anything other than that, in my opinion, is a gamble. Could we be very low time frame and look for just, let's just say, like, see, the problem is we haven't had anything like that, right? We haven't had liquidity grabs. All these little ranges, ascending channel, breakout, ascending channel, breakout. Right now, ascending channel, right? So you could get risky with it. I mean, if you're in the mood for risk, you know, you could say, well, the pattern is ascending channel breakout, so as long as we don't take the low, you know, this is an opportunity. That's the only other real opportunity we'd have here based on this pattern of ascending channel breakout, ascending channel breakout, ascending channel breakout, question mark. Like, other than that, a pullback to this would be such a good buy. A buy into strength, man. A buy into strength, right? Market structure flip, higher high, come back to key support, bam, boom, boom, bam, boom, bam. You know what I'm saying? Boom, bam, bam, boom. Can we take a look at total 3? Oh yeah, let's take a look at total 3. Make sure to smash the likes, guys. We've got over 1,000 people in the hoose, but not too many. Not too many likes. Yeah, let's take a look at total 3. This is the total market cap without Bitcoin and Ethereum. Man, I mean, you know, look, again, ain't no financial advice here, but I do just want to point out that the last 2 bull runs, and I know this time is different, okay? The last 2 bull runs, we've been trading this trend line here. So, let's say we come up to the trend line now, right? That's pretty wild. A 220% move to the upside. I mean, that is insane, though. We're talking like $1.1 trillion coming into altcoins. That's a lot of money, but I guess it's not really. I mean, when you think about all the money that's in the world, that's a lot, all right? So, yeah, we've got ourselves... Let's just take a look at this is the bull market trend here. And then we've got these highs that we can connect. We've kind of got this ascending channel going on here. And then we do have some Fibonacci extension targets too, so... Let's take it from the low of the vid low. To the high, to the high, to the low. Okay, so like the next, the 1-to-1 is like 1.4 trillion. So that's like you know, we're at 1.7, 1.17 to 1.4. So that's not so crazy. That's actually kind of a realistic target, honestly. Lining up with our trend line here would be around the 1.272. That's 1.7 trillion. So that's like, you know, that's like 0.5 trillion dollars, half a trill, 500 mil. Now, again, this chart is difficult because it's going to depend really on what the money is going to do in the future. Let's check out our monthly. I don't like how topped out the monthly is. 2-month, decent. 12-day, Money flow looks decent on the 12-day here, but we've got triple drive of bear div. Yeah, look, if we're going to get an altcoin season that's more than just the top, you know, few, I'd say these are some conservative targets here. Conservative targets, 1.4, 1.7, and then 2 trillion is like a, it's like a moonshot. It's like $800 million popping on in to alts. How's our Bitcoin trade doing here? Nice, not so bad. How's the short? Not so great. That's what we like to see. We like to see shorts wrecked and longs pumped, baby. Shorts wrecked and longs pumped, baby. Alright. I don't like how they're minting hundreds of millions in stable coins a week. Reminds me of Fed printing. Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, the sad reality about crypto stake stocks is that crypto is not what it was supposed to be, right? It's been co-opted by big institutions and now governments. And yeah, it's tethered to stable coins. It's probably going to be a way for them to keep printing money without printing money. We'll see what happens. But anyway, the future is definitely blockchain, digital currency, no matter what. So yeah, it's not good in the long term, but in the short term, I do think it's good. Can we look at Dogecoin? Yeah. Playboy George says, big drop on coming. We could see, yeah, I feel like pretty soon, you know, like I said at the beginning of the stream, I do feel that the top is in soon. All right. For the cycle. I think we're going to see quite a bit of a pullback. Quite a bit of a pullback in 2026. In fact, I'm hoping to buy some cheap Bitcoin in the fall. In the fall of 2026, I hope to buy some cheap Bitcoin. All right. We were going to look at Doge. M2 money supply is up. Yeah, let's see if Bitcoin trails M2 like it was. Yeah, that is crazy, though. That is crazy, the M2 money supply. All right, let's check out Doge. All right, wow, look at that little fancy. Oh, wow. Oh, my goodness, wow. All right, so look, we got a giant cup and handle. We're breaking out of this channel. I do think Doge has pumpability here. All right, we're breaking out of the cup and handle. We're above the POC of the handle range. Nice rounded bottom in the handle. We've got ourselves, you know, it's not the best looking bottom here. But I do have to say the back test of the 14-cent level in April, March and April, very technical level. Very, very technical level. And so I don't see any reason why we can't hit our target at around $1. A breakout of this. All this is very squeezable. You know, the 47-cent level. And then it just makes sense that we go for the all-time high on Doge. And this target here is based on our cup and handle. Okay? So our cup and handle target is going to give us about $1. Well, when we're not on, we gotta take it off. Oops, hang on. We gotta take it off log scale. to get that accurate measurement here. Yep. I don't think there's any reason why we can't see something like that there on Doge. But in the moment, the money flow looks good on the daily. We have a nice anchor trigger here. I wish we saw some bullish divs, you know. I wish the 2-day decent bullish divs here, you know, at the low. The 4-day has a decent bullish div here at the low. Now we're starting to get a money flow cross as we're breaking out. Again, this is a rough trend line I drew with 1, 2, 3 taps here. We got the 3rd tap, back test. It looks nice right now. But yeah, this 4-day could really give us something. It could really give us something, to be honest. Got to give a major shout out to some of our super chats in here. They mess with my algo. Probably I show you. It's my own fault because I haven't been consistent, bro. So the algorithm blesses those who bless it and curses those who don't care, unfortunately. You know, there's a trillion YouTube channels out there talking about cryptocurrency, and YouTube only cares about views. And so if there's a guy doing a stream every day at the same time, the algorithm will push that channel. And there's only so many slots for being recommended, right? So if you fall out of one of those slots, you're pretty much screwed. You know, I pretty much screwed myself recently. In fact, my channel's pretty much dead right now. Like, unless something changes, let's see here. Unless something changes, my channel is basically dead. Look at this. I have 143 subscribers in the last 28 days. I mean, that is like so few. Look, views down, watch time down, everything's way down. It's my own fault. You know, this is what happens. This is what happens here. Look at this. This is crazy. Look at these subscribers, man. This is insane. That's wild, right? That's down like so much. You know, I was getting like 3,000 to 5,000 subscribers a month. I'm basically at a standstill. I don't know, actually. To be honest, I was just telling my wife, I don't know if I'll be able to come up more than 155,000 subscribers. I think I've capped myself out here because I've been, you know, between 154.7 and 155.3 now for quite some time. Like, it'll go up and then it'll go down. I'll lose like 100 subs in a day. You know, it's weird. So, my channel is officially dead. All right, you heard it here. The channel is dead. It's not growing. When things stop growing, you know what that means. Dying. Death. Death to the YouTube channel. But look, you know what? I don't care at all, you know? The reason I don't care at all is because I attribute my growth 100% to God. He supernaturally grew my channel, and if he wants to grow it again, he will. And if he doesn't, he won't. Then he'll have something else for me to do. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so we got to look at Pengu. Yeah, we'll look at Pengu. But it's been a really weird, like, this year, 2025, has been the weirdest year for me and my family. We've had so many strange things happen to us that have made it very hard for me to be consistent on YouTube. So it's like out of my control. You know what I'm saying? It's out of my control, and it is what it is. But once you get back in that algorithm, you get back in. You know? So the hope is not lost. You can get back in that algorithm. Once you get back in, then YouTube loves you again. You know? Then the next thing you know, you're getting like 5,000 viewers on your live streams. You're getting thousands of subscribers. You know? All right, so Pengu, what do I think about the 4-day? I think the 4-day looks juicy. I think we're breaking this resistance again. I think we have our target up here of a new all-time high of about 0.086610, which is based on our cup and handle pattern that we have forming here, with this being the handle. Let's go down to our 1-day. Let's go down to our 1-day. That's not really a hidden bull div here. The 4-day looks good. Let's go to the 3-day. The 3-day looks pretty good. The 3-day looks really nice, actually. And I don't know for certain, like, if this is a breakout or not. I mean, there's so many different ways we could draw this here, right? But definitely this is a bull flag, for sure. And look at the 3-day to me looks really nice here. We have a nice bullish divergence at the low, change of market structure, back test the golden pocket with a trigger wave, big pump, another higher high, forming now a bull flag, and we have hidden bullish div with nice money flow on the 3-day. Let's pull a fib from our low to high. Okay, so I would say this, like, basically we have really nice support at 0.17263 support resistance flip. Like, that's beautiful. Look at how this high here, we came back, tapped it pretty much to the dollar. So maybe if we do something like this, that would actually be really nice. That would be like the best opportunity to get in here. You know, a nice support resistance flip. Yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure, for sure. Yeah, so it looks kind of good. Best opportunity would be to come down to that level. Do I remember Toro's Crypto? His channel is dead now. Yeah, that's because he's like, you know, he decided to go travel the world and have fun and not do YouTube anymore. And I respect that, man. Honestly, I do. I respect that. Shout out to Neo. Dear Jay, what do you think about ICP? Let's check out ICP. I mean, this is still my idea for ICP, that we're at very key support. You know, we're at very key support. And it's a really good risk to reward ratio, man. We have bullish div upon bullish div upon bullish div. We have bullish div at this bottom. We have bullish div at this bottom, which is a higher low. I mean, overall, yeah, it's taken like 1 trillion years. But, you know, all things considered here, it looks really nice. And this is the kind of stuff you want to be buying. I mean, if you're bullish fundamentally on ICP, and honestly, I do think ICP is a good project. Like, that's a good use case and all that. I mean, just to pick some up here is not a bad idea, right? This is a 40 times more upside than downside, assuming the low's in. Even if we come down below this, it's still 25 times more upside than downside, okay? Even if we come back down to the low, there's still 25 times more upside potential than downside potential, right? So think of it this way. You put a dollar in there. You put $1 in ICP. You lose $1 or you make 25. Put $100 in, you lose $100 or you make 2,500. Like, you know, put 1,000 in, you lose 1,000, you make 25K. Like, it's one of those really good risk to rewards. It's not like we're at the top and we're like, what do you think about ICP? We're at the bottom. No one's thinking about it. No one's talking about it. The chart looks bullish. We're at support. We have a good risk to reward ratio. It looks kind of cool, you know. Yeah, their music has been dead for a while. That's for sure, Jay Schlongen. That is for sure, my man. Yeah. All right, guys, I gotta go. God bless you in Yeshua's name, in Jesus' name. I love you all. Make sure to like, subscribe, click the bell. Peace.